Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. This one is my transfer plans for game week 12. We'll have a look at how I got on in game week 11. Then we'll have a look at how I'm lining up for game week 12 currently and some early thoughts on transfer plans. So let's get straight into it. Okay, as you can see, 40 points from me. My overall rank is 1.2 million, so pretty much a grey arrow. It's technically a red arrow, but just a tiny red arrow. So I stay at 1.2 million. Bit of a frustrating one, to be honest, because Raya and Gabriel both with 1 point each. That game was actually fantastic. I watched it, but for my FPL team, obviously really not great. Anderson, Senesi, both hit DEFCON. However, both obviously conceded. I wasn't expecting that performance from Aston Villa, to be honest, against Bournemouth. I thought that it would be a bit more of a cagey game. Aston Villa have typically looked quite good defensively this season, but not so good going forward. That was just not what happened though, weirdly. So yeah, not ideal, that one. Anderson, again, not ideal. I didn't necessarily expect a clean sheet from that game, but I do think he probably could have got one. Richards obviously grabbing the clean sheet. Can't complain with anything from my Palace defenders, to be honest, or him this season at all. And Burmo is the player I bought in midfield. I was weighing up between him and Saka, and I went with Burmo. Obviously, points-wise, that hasn't worked out. However, they actually both scored one goal. Yet, that one goal for Saka looked like a 12-pointer, and the one goal from Burma looked like a 7-pointer, which is slightly annoying. Saka managing to get a 12-pointer from one goal is pretty impressive though. I've got Burma in though. I'm quite happy I've got him in because he looked absolutely brilliant. Again, he has looked brilliant all season. He is so close to goal. He's getting all the chances. So in general, I'm just happy I've got him. Bruno Fernandes as well, getting the assist at the end. He isn't exactly picking up loads of opportunities in terms of chances created or even goal scoring opportunities, which isn't ideal, but we kind of know that from Bruno Fernandes. If they get a penalty, then he'll be taking it. He's on set pieces, and he grabbed an assist from set piece this week. So I don't love him at his price, but the fixtures are too good to be getting rid of him at this point. Sarr with 3 points, he could have had so much more. Him and Mateta both could have had so much more in that game. I'm really surprised at how there was no goals at all. Both Brighton and Crystal Palace were both pretty good going forward, so that was surprising. And then Semenyo missing the penalty is far from ideal. 2 missed penalties for me this week, Semenyo and Haaland. I'm sure a lot of you were in that position as well. Haaland obviously missed the penalty. I didn't really think the penalty was that bad, in all fairness. It was a pretty good save. And then he obviously scored the header after, so can't complain too much with him. He did get a return. On the bench, Reinders, I'm glad I benched him. I was either going to sell him or stack. It didn't really matter who I sold because I was benching whichever one I didn't sell. He obviously didn't start, didn't come on, to 0 points. Mark Gue did come on for Chelsea, and he hit the post actually. He looked quite good when he came on. I don't know if Delap has quite got 90 minutes in him at this point, so maybe Gue will just get some minutes off the bench. And then Mukiele, he might just be unbenchable at this point. That Sunderland defence is such a threat going forward, and they're so good defensively that it's tough to bench him in any given week, really. But that is how I got on. Not ideal. 1.2 million at this stage of the season isn't great. I like to be ideally in the top million by game week 10, and that isn't the case here. So not a good start at all, but plenty of time to fix it. So let's get on to my game week 12 team now. Okay, right, in goal, David Raya with Tottenham at home. I don't mind this fixture at all. Tottenham have obviously been scoring goals, but for me, they haven't looked good going forward. Against Man United, they really didn't look good until the likes of Udogie or De Boer came on. The team that they started with didn't look good going forward in the slightest. The only thing they had going for them going forward was Pedro Porro's crosses, which Maguire and De Ligt and that were just lapping up. It wasn't a problem at all. So I'm kind of fine with that. Dubravka's obviously got Chelsea at home, but I'm going to be playing Raya. Now, we're repping 4 at the back again at the moment anyway. I could make a transfer which could change this, but at the moment we're going 4 at the back again. Not that it worked last week, but it's very tough with defenders to pinpoint when they're going to get points, because one goal that they concede can just completely take them down from a 6 to a 2, which is difficult to predict, of course. But we've got some good fixtures here. Obviously, Gabriel has Tottenham at home as well. I will never bench Gabriel, ever. That's not a thing. I've been burned too many times by benching him and he scores, so won't be doing that. Richards has Wolves away. That's obviously a really nice fixture. Wolves are absolutely terrible right now. They look really bad against Chelsea. So this is just a great fixture all round. They will probably have a new manager in place by this point, but I'm just not sure that really matters at the moment. The fixture is still great. Hopefully some of these Palace players can get a bit of a rest. They've played a lot of football over the last 3-4 weeks or even longer, and they've looked a bit leggy. So I think that they might be able to get a bit of a rest and that will help them a bit. Then we've got Anderson with Sunderland at home. This fixture is just becoming not that great, but I just can't really see a world where I can bench anyone with Sunderland at home. I don't think it's got to that point yet. Obviously what I could do is start Mukiele, who has Fulham away. I've just said he's becoming unbenchable. I am currently benching him at the moment. That could change though. I could just play him over Anderson. Anderson's getting DEFCON, but at the back Fulham just don't look that good at all. Senesi has West Ham at home. Getting a pretty good fixture, although West Ham going forward don't look too bad at the moment. Into midfield, it's Mbeumo and Fernandes with Everton at home. Very good fixture. I don't think the Everton defence looks great. I think going forward they look okay. Defensively they don't look great. And right now, Man United are one of the best teams in the league going forward. They played some great football against Tottenham. They could have had plenty more goals. I really like this fixture for both of them. Talked about the Wolves away fixture for Palace. I'm happy I've got Sarr for this one. Obviously, Sarr and Mbeumo will both have to leave my team at some point soon because they go to AFCON, but I'm not doing it. Yeah, I'm not doing it until I need to be honest, because they've both got really good fixtures. And then Semenyo with West Ham at home. Semenyo is one that isn't going to African Cup of Nations because they didn't qualify. So he won't be going to the African Cup of Nations. So it's just Sarr and Mbeumo that are problems in my team in that respect. But we get loads of free transfers, so I'm not too worried about it. The fixture is obviously great for Semenyo with West Ham at home. And then onto the forwards. Mark Hughes on the bench, Burnley away, but he won't be starting probably. Mateta, great fixture, as we mentioned. And then Haaland has currently got the captaincy armband. I may move that though. And Mbeumo's tempting me, and I think he's tempting me more just because of my rank. If I was sitting at maybe like 300k or something, I'd probably just play it really safe with captaincy. Although I do think this is a good week to go against Haaland because that Newcastle away fixture isn't great, obviously. Newcastle have been conceding goals recently. There's still a bad fixture, Newcastle away. So I may go with Mbeumo. I need to do something to sort this rank out because I was playing it patient, thinking that my rank was okay when it was around game week 7, 8-ish, and I was 1.2 million. I thought, okay, let's play it safe, just get into the top million by game week 10. That's kind of my goal always by that point. However, now we're in game week 12 and I'm 1.2 million, so maybe we do need to go and Mbeumo captain. Maybe that is what it is. But I have 3 million in the bank. I have 2 free transfers. So my plans, or my original plans coming into this game week, were to do Reinders to Szoboszlai because Liverpool's fixtures from this week are fantastic. Liverpool, don't get me wrong though, looked awful against Man City. So maybe that changes things a little bit. Reinders is still not a player that I want in my team. Obviously, he didn't even start or come on at the weekend, so he is one that's going to have to leave my team. I'm now just wondering if it's something that I need to do this week or not, or whether I can actually just roll. Obviously, game week 16 is coming up quite close now, and we need to have used all of our transfers by game week 16 so that we then get the 5 free transfers. Not that you have to use all your transfers, but you will get topped up to 5 free transfers regardless in game week 16. So we might as well use all of our transfers. And that's why I'm maybe thinking to do Reinders to Szoboszlai anyway. That would give me a benching headache. I'll have to bench Mukiele and one of these other defenders. But maybe that's just worth it. I could actually get someone up to Van Dijk as well. I think Van Dijk is one of the only good Liverpool options right now. I think Szoboszlai, Van Dijk, maybe Salah is probably not worth the funds at the moment. So there isn't many Liverpool players to go for. I think Van Dijk is a really good one though. So I could do that, although I'm quite happy with my defence at this point. So that's where I am. I'll do a team selection video next week as well, where we're a bit closer to the deadline and we've got a little bit more information on everything. But that is all for this one. If you like the video, do hit like, do subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.